are essentially ripping up concrete some of this land. It's never been deep ripped. And they'll just pre-order the stuff, have it delivered to the local depot, turn up, clad it,
onto the next farm.
Hang around, drink beer, pack up, onto the next farm.
We're here together sort of having a drink and commiserating with each other, but none of us are making money in farming.
We're having a good time.
Yeah, no, you don't tell them that.
Oh.
We're in Western Australia in Esperance, made it to the beach. Fantastic. Dave, the king of the bogans, is enjoying himself on the beach. How's this for a Dodge Ram advert? Dave's decided to come down the beach and yeah. Ooh, that's probably steeper than you realise. David Cox on the way to Esperance, been at the as he calls it, the what do you call it, the beach house in Rockingham, and now we're on an 8-hour road trip. It's going to probably be a bit longer because we keep getting distracted, don't we, looking at things. So David, you had a text come through a moment ago which was clear grain, and it basically, you pressed on your, we're in a Ram here, which is a 500 truck. What engine's this got in it?
6.7 Cummins.
6.7 Cummins, so it goes like stink. Got his Starlink up here for his internet. And so just explain how this text works.
So just one of our marketing tools is a platform called CGX, Clear Grain Exchange. Any of the buyers can put their bids up, then any sellers like ourselves, we can just put parcels of grain up, and we put it up with the price that we want. We sign everything, tick the boxes, and that's committed to that price. So at any time, if someone wants to buy it, it's activated without us knowing, virtually. And the sale's made. That's through, and it's guaranteed payment through our National Grower Register, so we're paid within 7 days. I think the fees are probably $4 a tonne, $3 a tonne, I think, plus a few levies. Yeah, and then you can just remove the parcels of grain if you want, or change the price whenever you want.
So let's just be clear on this. So I think it was 584 tonne or something it came up with.
Yeah.
What's that related to in terms of lorry loads?
So that was just a parcel of a grade left over on one of our.
Oh, so the tonnage
properties.
had nothing to do with the.
No,
okay.
So I had 518 tonnes of oats 2 in the Kwinana zone sitting there. So I just put it on, set the price.
And Kwinana zone is the port in Perth.
Kwinana is the main port zone.
And that's where we can see it from the beach house. That's where the ships are out there waiting to come in, loading 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yep. So that is the main port, the Kwinana zone. But then we also have Esperance, Albany, and to the north Geraldton, that are ports as well, and they're port zones, obviously.
Okay, working on the basis that majority of what you grow is not for the domestic market, but is actually for export.
Yep, export.
Yeah.
I think probably 90% of the grain growing in West Australia is exported.
And that is going to Asia, is it? Is that right? Middle East?
Middle East, yeah, predominantly. We do have canola goes to Europe for biodiesel. Crushing.
And also CBH, what does it stand for?
Cooperative Bulk Handling.
Okay.
So it is a farmer-owned cooperative which handles basically 90% of West Australia's grain.
And that is farmer-owned as opposed to state-owned?
Farmer-owned, yeah.
Okay.
But also open to, it's essentially we've got a $2 share, so anyone could come into West Australia, start growing grain, buy a $2 share and have full access to all the facilities and the storage facilities and handling.
So you're not having to buy tonnage within it. You just become a member.
Yep, a member.
And then there's a levy taken.
Turn left onto Peaceville Toowoomba Road, Toowoomba East Road.
So there is a, to be clear, if you want to sell 10,000 tonnes one year or sell 20,000 tonne the year after because you've got some more land to farm, it's not a problem.
Not a problem. Once you're a member, you can use it. And then also, but on saying that, you can also be involved in the cooperative for 2 generations and watch it get built with your with the funds that you're helping generate.
I see.
When you leave, you still only have a $2 share in that company, in that cooperative.
Okay, so if CBH goes and builds a new load of facilities which are probably worth, let's just pretend, 100 million, you don't get a percentage of the 100 million.
No.
You take out what you put in.
Yep, $2.
And your levy is just paying for the service charge to load the boats or the trucks or whatever, however it's done.
Yeah, yep.
Now you run your own trucks, don't you, to their sites, and then I'm assuming once from the sites to the port, do you get called in as a subcontractor, or is that actually, do they just organise that with their own trucks?
They organise that with some of the major trucking companies. There are years where they can potentially pull some grower trucks in if required. They give us the opportunity, but so as a whole we would cart on average 25 kilometres to our local bin, then it's received by CBH, and then CBH organise the freight from that bin, whether it be on road or on rail, to the port.
Okay, so rail is still quite a big part of moving grain in Western Australia.
No, it's a bit of an argument. Yeah, a bit of a touchy subject. A lot of the rail's been let go just through various ownerships. It's not state owned anymore, so tier 2 and tier 3 rails have really been let go, so there's a lot more grain on road now, which is pretty hard on the roads, and a lot more truck traffic, which is a bit of a problem with the smaller communities.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So just going back to this clear grain that I witnessed, you go on and set a price, and I think it was $310 for oats, you said.
Yeah.
And you set on, if you can achieve that, I'm happy to sell. And you
Yes.
then tick the boxes that say commit the grain, etc. That grain happened without you having anything to do with it, authorising it, etc. It just happened because you'd pre-authorised.
Yep.
You're going to get the payment in 7 days. The payment is guaranteed through clear grain, is it?
And through the NGR, National Grower Registry.
Okay, so that's the government side, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that, Viterra or Bungie now, for example, or Cargill are signed up to that, and they have to then commit to them that they will pay guaranteed.
Yeah, so they won't get ownership of the grain until the payment's transacted on.
So how does they guarantee the quality? Is that because it's come from a cooperative central store being CBH, and any claims on that CBH are going to have to pay?
Yeah, so that grain was actually sold through the CBH system. So when we deliver it to CBH, it's sampled and it's stored in the various grades. So that was actually an O2 sale. So which was, I know that grain was a bit lower on hectolitre weight from memory, but our grain was dumped in on, I don't know, a 20,000 tonne heap of O2.
Yeah.
Which is all the
So
same
you took the
species.
penalty to get it to O2. They deducted that off you. Do you have to pay the deduction in the quality?
No, I marketed that as O2.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
that was transacted at O2.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
And the logistics of where that's sitting is immaterial to you.
Gone, finished, nothing to do with me.
So you're just now doing a paper transaction And it's not, they're not saying, oh well, this is now sat up at wherever and there's a per mile charge or per ton charge.
So that sale price is actually would have been delivered to Port Kwinana. So out of that, we would have had around $14 sampling and handling charges taken, billed to us. And then the site we delivered into it was Meriden, which is around 200 kilometres from Kwinana.
Yep.
And that freight bill that we are then charged is around 30, from memory, $39.
Okay, but you already know those charges.
We know those charges and they are billed to us from CBH. So
after you've taken the payment?
so yes, after it's sold. So we still have ownership of it sitting in that Meriden bin. So I can actually, for example, if we have a drought and we need feed for sheep, we can go in and buy out of that stack.
Yeah.
We can actually buy out of any stacks, but we will have a freight differential charge depending on where we're getting it from. So I'll get charged the delivery and storage fees, which gives us 12 months storage roughly, within a couple of weeks of delivering into CBH.
Yeah.
Then when we make the sale, if that's out of Kwinana, then we are charged that freight to Kwinana by CBH.
Perfect. So here's some tractors which were made in Australia, 1975, timberjack. So these were done because they hadn't got the tractors which could cope with land where they get bogged when they were trying to plough. So you can see it's a Bedford TK cab, so you got the steering wheel on the far side, and articulated, this one. Then this one here is, I'm not sure what this one is, yellow fella. And this is another one. It's got a lorry cab on it again. And we're at Lake King at the moment. That's another lorry cab. Leyland diesel. Big Bertha, this one's called, 1974.
You can see this cab, farmer manufactured. This is, the chassis and everything. Built in a workshop.
Yeah.
Drop box out of a whatever. Diesel tank on the back.
And then that's a Bigfoot, whatever Bigfoot is. Bigfoot, Ron Hewson, 1978. So there's a lot of them all having to go. They must have all been having breakfast together.
Look out, truck radiator.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want to get your hand in there, would you? It's another truck cab. Yeah.
You can see that just the old truck chassis that's been cut and centre pivoted.
Yeah.
With a ram in the side.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this one here is a double Chamberlain, is that right?
Yeah, so the old twin pull, which was just keep hooking them up.
Two tractors just connected together on a simple chassis.
Cable.
What's the cable doing?
That'd be the clutch, to engage the clutch.
Oh,
So you put it in gear, jump up there, put the clutch in, off you go.
right. That's
So
you.
I've seen 3 of these hooked together.
You've seen 3?
Towing 3 drills on a big hitch.
Wow. This is the Newdigate CBH place just built brand new this year. This is where the trucks pull up, so you've got about 3 lanes here. Trucks pull up, they come under here to sample. So there's the samplers. Obviously going into that shed up there to sample, then that's blowing the grain back. Same setup what we've got at ours. And then they get sent off up to the bins. So we're going to drive up there. It's a colossal site. It's about 27 degrees at the moment, and the time is 4 o'clock. So then come onto the weighbridge, see how long the weighbridges are to be able to take all of these extra trailers on the back. Drive on there, so they sample separately. Back there, and you can see there's a lorry out here just coming, so leaving the site. So it's got a small trailer on the front, then a bigger trailer, then a bigger trailer. I can't remember what they call this one. I have to ask David. I think they call them something like B doubles. David, is that what you call a B double or something?
C tray.
Oh, that's a C tray. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a few trailers missing in the UK. How many tons would that be? 56? 90 tons.
86 to 90 tons.
Okay, 86 to 90 tons. Wow. So this is what they call an open bulkhead. So this is what they're like empty. See, that's basically a reinforced leaning frame. And then they fill that with grain. You can see the floor is actually only stone. Or if you like, sort of this sort of gravel. And then they then fill it. And then they put a sheet over the top to keep the rain off. And that's the elevators that they use to fill it. There's a lot of tons there. So this is their version of grain stores as opposed to ours. So these are more sort of a temporary site, but they use them year in, year out. So David, just explain how this works, because these don't look big enough to get to the top of the heap.
So they do. So if you look down here, the conveyor belt's coming from the other end. There'll be a grid down the other end. See those yellow?
Oh, so the lorries tip down there?
Down the other end. The yellow things, diverters that are on the conveyor belt.
Yes.
That drops into here. So this machine here
Oh,
will run down the tracks into there.
Okay. So
Suits.
these will move down
Down this
the
white
edge.
road, this little road here.
Okay, and it will come off the belt,
Off the belt,
onto the
yellow
diverter,
strip.
no different from what we got in the booth of our grain stores, into that, and then that's reaching sideways.
Yep,
I understand now. So these are running down here all the way along, and that's how they're filled. So how do they empty?
Big loader. We'll probably see that around today.
What, like a wheeled loader?
Yeah, wheel loader.
And that floor in there was only stone, wasn't it?
Yeah, so
So how do they not get stones in the grain?
good question. These main ones
Yeah.
are all bitumen.
Have they got wheels on the bucket so it never actually scrapes the floor up?
Actually, sure.
We'll have a look when we go around. So this is a pit here. So they've just got the sheet over it. Then it's coming out of two legs, out of the pit, straight into the belt. And then obviously that's then going off down there. And then you can see one of these travelators which run up and down, and then they go into the elevator which is going up there. It's quite a height. I should think it's all of 14 meters or something like that. It's a good height. So these are the frames sort of bolted in. You can see where the looks like the oats are coming through. There's the frame. It's clever. There's the sheet sort of attached to the top. Yeah. So barley in this one. So there you go. They're outloading and outloading a silo. There's the outsides into that elevator there, straight into a lorry. So this one's got tarmac floor. So David was just explaining that the other one only had a stone floor because they had such a big harvest last year, 24 million tons, he said. So, and there's, I'm guessing that's an aerator. That must be how they get the air in. Doesn't seem like enough air though. So you don't think it's got an aeration system?
No, it's just
Not like I have at home?
no, fumigation.
Oh, so
Goes
it's
in
fumigate.
dry. This would have all gone in at 11% moisture,
Okay,
10 to 11% moisture,
yeah.
and then it's fumigated.
Right,
put under
okay.
gas. And then this stuff here is probably going to be trucked to, it might be just going to a railhead at Old Newdigate.
Yeah.
Or it could be going down to Albany. I think it'll be going to railhead and then straight to port.
Okay.
And exported. This will be on a ship, so.
Yeah. Oh, he's coming to have a look. So Jack over here, who's running the site, he's just told us about this heap here. So they're 33,000 tons each, and this is how they're loading. So the lorry drivers will have a camera and also the controls to turn this on and off, so they manage their own weights, and then he can then just keep loading it. And it's amazing, 33,000 tons per one of these. There's about 5 of these here. And you know, simple system, generator, not electricity cables anywhere. And then they're tipping in, and then they put these on. So the blue sheet is new each year, and they put that on. That's what holds the gas in. And then the top one they put on, they reuse, and you can see they glue and stitch it together. And they have about a team of 6 people which come and put these across each heap after they're filled, and then they'll gas it then after. But oh, it smells like harvest, you know, that real fresh smell. It's a beautiful colour, nice bright colour. So here's the weighbridge for the out, and then they've got these sites in here getting prepared, ready to build more. So he's just told us they spent 35 million, which divided by 2, divided by 170,000 tons, which is currently here. That works out at £100 a ton UK, just over $200 a ton Australian. So we'll probably be running at more like 140 now in the UK, just to put it into perspective. But anyway, 33,000 tons a bay. Smart setup. So this time last year, apparently it was a cropping field. So they've really cracked on. And then they've obviously made up big areas to hold water, etc. And then some big ditches to take the water away from the site. And then all the tarmac around the site is cambered, so the water just runs off. There's some sheep.
It's about 2,500 merino lambs there.
Merino.
Merino lambs.
A merino is a resident of Australia, is it?
It's our main wool grain.
Okay, so that's for wool. Okay. Yeah. So you're then putting them on the stubbles, eating up the loose grain that came out the back of the combines.
A few weeds.
Yeah. And then you move from paddock to paddock, so everything's fenced down here. We're currently in Varley, which is towards Hyden. I've gone through Lake King to get here.
Yeah.
And this is coming down to the farm buildings. So this is a farmyard down here at Varley. This is a sprayer, trailed, hanging on the front of an 8430. Dave does this farm in a contract farming agreement with a neighbouring farm, I believe it's called Allen, is that right? Yeah. So there's a self-propelled, there's the drill, there's an Arctic, another drill, and a Bowser, water tank for the sprayers, collecting off the roof. So dependent on storage of water here. A couple of lorries, road trains used for carting, I suppose, off the paddock to CBH, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some sheep pens, shearing shed. Western Star and Buddy Star, whatever that is. Oh, Bundy. Typical sort of farmstead Australian house, bungalow. And we've also got a food, we're going upstairs. And then you've got pickups, a loading shovel, a chemical store. Diesel tanks, isn't there?
One of.
Yeah. And then fill the silos. They use these big long screw augers, and that's the fertilizer shed. So the roof slides back.
Not that one.
Oh, not this one. Okay. Some of them they slide the shed roof back onto a frame, and then tip up, and then slide the roof back. How wide is that sprayer?
36 metres.
36, okay. And then what do you keep in there? That's some kind of chickens or something, is it?
Probably chickens, maybe, if you're into chickens.
Yeah, well there you are, that's where you get your eggs from. How many sheep have you got, Dave?
It's probably about 6,000.
How many?
6,000.
6,000, but you don't really consider yourself a sheep farmer, do you?
No, I hate them. They're good to eat and they make money, and that's it.
Okay, you're not a fan.
No, they're alright. They
Here's the typical roads. These long sort of big roads, so road trains can pass each other. And a grader. Is this the Shire does these?
Yeah.
The Shire's like the county council. And they're all hanging around the
water hole.
waterhole, because today it is
35.
35. Yeah.
Nice cool day.
Yeah. So here's another shed. There's a John Deere on tracks in there, an Arctic, and that's a chaser bin. There's they call them headers, as we call them combines. There's 2 case headers in there, third one there. There's the machine they use to put the sausages out for the bags. And then,
That's an A section.
all right, is that the middle one?
Yep.
Yeah. And you can see the little bin, then that's how they attach the next trailer behind it. And then if you swing round to here, you'll see this is the grain bag. I first saw these in South America in 2010 in Argentine. But they basically fill that with a chaser bin into the frame, and as it goes along, you set like the brake on the wheels, and then it will just slowly push itself forward with the weight of the grain, and the more pressure you put on the brakes, the bigger the bag gets. But there's a measuring way, isn't there? You measure the width of the bag so they don't split.
Stretch, yeah.
Yeah, so they stretch a bit.
So
And
those
then-
bags hold around 3 tonne per metre,
Right,
and they're 70 metres long.
right, 3 tonne a metre, 70 metres long, and there's those flexi ends, so they're the sort of fert tanks for liquid fert. And they've got more outdoor yards again for sheep. And then we'll get round this corner, and these put some silos up, and there's got trucks running off these currently. You say taking oats to Perth?
Oats to Perth, which is around 300 kilometres.
300k away from Perth we are.
All down to Banana, Rockingham.
Canala, Rockingham, that's back where the port is, the main port.
And then there's barley going to Esperance.
Oh, Barley going to Esperance, how far's Esperance?
The port around the same, 300 k's.
Okay, 300k, we've just driven that this morning up here.
And then he's backloading the lime.
And bringing lime back down, spread on the fields.
And
Yeah.
the trucks running out of Perth will potentially going to start bringing fertiliser up next week.
Granular urea.
No, compound P.
Compound P, right, okay. So this land is mostly deficient in lime, phosphate and potash?
Yeah, phosphate's a big one.
Yeah. What about potash?
It responds to some, yeah.
Okay,
You don't absolutely need it, but we do put it on.
okay.
And sulphur for canola is
Important.
important.
Because I think it leaches out this sand quite easily, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And this soil type here, what are we on?
So this is a sandy loam,
Sandy
and
loam.
goes into sandy gravels.
Because I see there's a bit more red in it.
Yeah, and then that'll go into the heavier. This will vary through to quite heavy red country.
Right, okay. That's not what we would call heavy, but yeah.
Yeah, probably have a drip on us and stuff like that. That's still a beautiful sandy loam.
And this farm is, do you say 11,000 hectares?
10,000 hectares.
10,000 hectares. So this is a nice block.
Yeah.
Right, so this is a bed now. It's got, look at the size of the tines. So he's running them a little bit shallow just on the top brow of this hill because there's some rock in it. So they've just kept the pressure off. And then you've got like a spiky roller followed by like a Cayman's roll on the back. And then when they get off the brow of this hill, they drop it back down. But the reason they're doing this is fallow last year, and they're mixing in the lime that they've spread. And you say that's Freya, is it? That's Freya from New Zealand up in the cab. Oh, Danish, sorry, Danish. And it's a 550 Quadtrac. When did you buy the bed now?
It's our second year with it.
Oh, year two, okay.
And it's a very good machine for this type of work because we are essentially ripping up concrete some of this land. It's never been deep ripped.
And how wide is it? 6 metres? Yeah. You can see the shear bolt wouldn't last on him.
This is not a lot of our country has that problem. You see that?
That now she can drop it in. Okay, so you're off that sort of that height of that ridge. Right, and then we're just sort of back to doing the tines where quite quickly.
No, we'll have lots of points in the back and then remanufactured, and they do 500 hectares.
Okay, oh, that's good. That is good, 1,200 acres.
500 hectares.
Yeah, 1,200 acres.
Yes.
Got still talking acres, you know, because we haven't got as much land as you, David.
Yeah. So we still talk acres down the pub.
Is that right?
Hectares when you do your budgets.
Yeah, that's it. Same.
We seed to
Yeah.
every year. There is some reasonably good moisture there.
Yeah. So what, you're going down 3-4 inches with the knife on the
Yeah, around 100 mil we try to get to when we're seeding
Okay,
every year.
right.
But you can see that yellow, that definite
That's real sand.
tan, and that's acidic. We need to get lime to there
Okay.
so we can get the root.
Right, hence why you've been back loading lime
Yeah.
and you're spreading it on there. Look
Yeah.
at that. Wow. Wow, that really is playing in the sandpit. Are you going to tell me this is heavy land now?
No, this is good sandplain.
Okay.
So, well, that's the depth she's ripping to.
Yeah. Wow.
And we're hoping we're getting a bit of lime getting down into that yellow.
It's really changed, hasn't it? That leg's done a really good job.
Yeah.
And there's the finished
So
particle.
we're hoping this. You see this? And it's not like Esperance shit. There's clay in it,
Yeah.
but there's a little bit of aluminium in it,
Yeah.
which burns your roots. So that's why we're trying to get
The lime
the
into
lime
it.
down there. Because it's such low rainfall, lime won't work in itself. Spread lime on the top, and it just sits there.
Ah, hence why you've got to mix it.
So you got to mix it. All this country's been lime before,
Yeah.
but pretty ineffectively. So we're coming back in, giving it another hit, sometimes even a lighter rate, and then we're ripping it. So
How
we'll
interesting.
try and get around the whole farm over sort of 4 or 5 years.
Okay, so cultivation in a rotation.
Yeah. And this
Getting rid of pans and getting lime into the base.
Yep. And then this will go back to minimum till, controlled traffic. See how she goes, pray for rain.
And what yield did you get up here per hectare?
This year wasn't great on this farm, 1.6 on wheat.
Yeah, and we're what you refer to as Hayden now.
Yeah, Hayden.
Yeah, so we've been to Varley, now this is Hayden.
It's 100 k's further north.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So this is our original first farm we bought up here. So we've been farming this for since 2008.
Yeah, okay.
This is $200 an acre, this land.
Yeah.
The value's certainly gone up.
You bought it at £200 an acre, and is it now £800 an acre?
Yeah, 1,000, 800.
Okay, so it's quite an uplift in price since 2008.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So no, it's this sort of country. It's exciting, this country, and this will go into wheat this year.
Yeah.
With the cultivation, good mineralisation.
Yeah.
We'll get some good protein out of it this year, and then canola, and back into rotation. So, yeah.
Okay, so this is a new sort of accommodation block that David's building. So in the middle of the sort of farmyard up here at Hayden, that over there, that's a house he's just doing up. That I call that the House of Horrors, because he left me up here for 5 hours once, and it was not looking very nice.
A bit soft there, boy.
Yeah, is that right? You're toughening me up. But he's recladded it. They've done it up inside, open planned it with the kitchen and things, and it's transformed it. So now these are quite interesting. So they buys these in. They've got the aircon units already fitted. They've then got the decking, which sort of bolts on the front. So these come modular on a lorry, isn't that right? Yeah. And then they come with a laundry room, a washing machine. They call it the dungy, and the shower. And then you go into these two over here are basically bedrooms with their own shower and toilet in, is that right? Completely self-contained. And then you've got here, this is like a communal kitchen, stroke sitting room with aircon again. And then you've got your fridges and freezers, cooking facility, then there's sort of like a communal central island bar. And then they've numbered the cupboards, so I'm assuming each person has their own cupboard.
Each room.
Oh yeah, they're numbered. And if I'll just take you over here. Now, this is interesting because these are brand new, these ones. And the ones here are refurbs, which have come out of the mines, and they've refurbed them, retinned them, etc. They're on like a hard chassis. But inside, they're really nice actually. They've got the aircon, big double bed, got your desk, your TV mounts up there. Then you've got your shower, big shower and toilet. So yeah.
No, they've all got their own little fridge.
And little fridge. So you want to come up here, do the harvest or the drilling. Then you've got somewhere nice to bed down. They're going to landscape. This is going to be grass. This will be concrete path. This is going to be grass. And then the corners is going to put a fencing in. And the corner over there where the washing line is, that's going to be plastic grass, etc. So yeah, nice little, you can see the landscape in the middle of nowhere. So, and this is all off grid, isn't it?
No, this is on grid.
Oh, this is on grid because it's next to the farmyard.
Yep, we've got power.
Okay,
here.
so that you got the sewer, you've got the power then from the mains.
Yep.
And you've got
so sewer we've had to do ourselves.
Yes. And the water, this is tanked water from the roofs.
No, this is underground. We've got very good underground bore water.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see this big mountain over here, this rock.
Yeah. In the distance.
You get a lot of water come. That'd be a 200 acre lot. No, 500 acre rock. There's a lot of bore water around here, and it's very good bore water.
Oh, that's okay.
So,
right. So, and how far from town are we to get?
About 45 kilometres from Hayden.
Yeah.
Here.
And 75
to Narrabeen, and we're 400 kilometres from the Esperance farm.
400k from Esperance.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And from Varley?
About 100.
100. Okay.
Yeah.
And is this your most northern farm?
No, I've got Hollerton, which is another 50 kilometres north of.
And that's getting it forever closer to Perth.
No, that's actually going away from Perth.
Oh, okay.
Veering, shooting off out the back to.
Triangulated.
That is the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah. As you can see, if you.
And just to put this into perspective, Dave, what does something like this cost you?
Look, these buildings are around 100 grand each.
That's £50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a bit more by the time we put the verandas on.
Yeah.
This refurb 3-bedroom unit was about the same.
Okay, 50,000 sterling.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit they're trucked out of Perth.
Yeah.
So, and then we've got local guys that are doing the concreting.
Okay. And tradesmen is a big problem for you out here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Tradesmen, very hard to get. Electricians have to come from 120 kilometres away, and they're busy, you can't get them.
Yeah, because they've got plenty of work in town.
And we've actually bought these modular because we just can't get builders out here.
Yeah.
No one will build a house.
Drop it down.
Funny,
plumb
the
it in.
people that reclad that house, they are from Victoria,
Yeah.
and they just cruise around Australia cladding houses, and they'll just pre-order the stuff, have it delivered to the local depot, turn up, clad it,
Onto the next farm.
hang around, drink beer, pack up, onto the next farm.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, so it's 11 o'clock at night on Friday night in WA. And we've got Andrew Todd and David Cox, both in our fields. I met Andrew in 2023, August he came over, and 2010 for David. Anyway, here we are in Rockingham, we've come away from the public news. But, so a couple of things, just going to talk about grain prices. 168 feed wheat, 174 milling wheat, feed barley is 155, and obviously rape's 129. Now we just compared that to what they're paying out here. And interestingly, feed wheat is $300 a tonne, 332 for milling wheat, 320 for feed barley, and 745 oats. So effectively, the exchange rate at the moment is 2 to 1, and they're almost identical, aren't they? And you're not making money at those prices, are you?
The wheat's a problem, big problem.
Yeah. I think there's a big shift towards barley this year. What I'm hearing.
I'm amazed how good value your barley is. Because
And
actually,
feed barley and oats,
Yeah.
they're worth the same as wheat.
yeah, which is not typical of what we would have in the UK. So anyway, so we're here together, sort of having a drink and commiserating with each other, but none of us are making money in farming.
We're having a good time.
Yeah, no, you don't tell them that.
Oh.